Hello pretty girls, welcome back to another tutorial. My name is Akosia Adoma and I'm excited to show you how I made this pretty satin bonnet with triple crochet stitches using fishing twine, which has a very slippery texture for this kind of project. I feel like it's the best and I love the outcome. It's so cute. I also made this version, which was the very first version in chunky cotton yarn. I did not like the outcome, and so I'm a lightweight person and I live in a very hot place, so I want something that is not heavy, and so I wasn't a fan of this project, so I had to recreate the pattern in the satin bonnet texture, and I love the outcome because I want the best feel for every project I create. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I hope this tutorial is helpful and it will encourage you to make this as well in lightweight yarn. You can use cotton thread if you don't have the fishing twine yarn, but yeah, this project is very perfect, very functional, and so I would love you to try it out. And yes, don't forget to subscribe once again. These are the list of items you need. You are going to need fishing twine, and I recommend that you buy 2 because we will be doubling the yarn. As you can see, the information, the twice size and the weight is right here, and this is the lemon green color. You are going to need a smaller hook. I'm using a 1.6 millimeter hook. You can use up to 2.0 millimeter hook. Trust me, my stitches are a little bit tight, and so I use a smaller hook and get the same feel as even sizing up. And so if you don't have the 1.6, go get a 2.0. Smaller hooks are the best and they give you the best feel. You also need some pair of scissors. I'm using the safety scissors and a darning needle. You can also use the ones for sewing, the sewing thread needles, since these are lightweight yarn, so it can still fit, so that you can sew in the ends because the yarn is slippery and so you don't want it, unraveling. Let's begin. To begin, you are going to make a magic ring. To make a magic ring, bring these 2 fingers in front of you. Place the yarn on the fingers in such a way that there's an extra strand here, about 3-inch extra strand. Grab this yarn, pass it behind the 2 fingers and cross. You should have something like this. Grab your hook, make sure the tip of the hook is facing downwards. Insert it underneath the first line. Bring the hook on top of the second line and pull through. Okay, now it's going to be tricky a little, so once you pull through, you are going to release it off your finger and grab the working yarn like this, and then we are going to chain 1 to secure first. Because of how slippery this is, you need to secure it, so yarn over and pull through a loop to chain 1, and you have your magic ring. If you don't like the magic ring method, you can chain 5 and slip stitch into the first chain. This will create a circle. The stitches will be worked inside. So you are going to work all the stitches that the pattern says inside this magic ring. So after making the magic ring, we are going to chain a total of 4. I've chained 1 already, which means I'm going to add an extra 3 chains. So 2, 3, 4. This serves as a triple crochet. As I told you from the beginning, we are using triple crochets. Triple crochet is not a difficult pattern. Let's make our first triple crochet in the space. So you are going to wrap the yarn around your index finger to help you with your tension and hold the ring secure. You can reduce the size of the ring by pulling this strand to make it a little bit small. So that is what helps me when working with fishing twine, because it's very slippery. Now we are going to make our first triple crochet into the space. Okay, to make a triple crochet, instead of yarning over once, you are going to yarn over twice. So you grab your hook, you see how it is on. After the first chain, you wrap it twice, you insert, you pull through. When you have 4 loops on the hook, you yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops only. Now you have 3 loops now. Okay, 1 2 3. I'm going to yarn over and pull through 2 loops again, and then you have final 2 loops. You are going to yarn over and pull through all the final 2 loops, and that is a triple crochet. Let's do it again. Wrap the yarn twice, insert into the magic ring, grab the loop, pull through, bring it a little bit on top, don't make it too tight. Okay, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And so far we have made 2 triple crochets in the magic ring. Okay, and so you are going to add 9 more. Okay, 9 more into the same ring. Okay, and now after adding 9 more triple crochets, you are supposed to have 12 triple crochets in the magic ring. The chain 4 you made counts as a triple crochet stitch, and we already demonstrated how to make 2 into the ring. So adding the 9 to the 2 plus the chain 4 will make a total of 12 triple crochets. I hope you get it. Now you are going to pull this strand. The strand I told you to leave at least 3 inches, because that is what will close up the magic ring. You pull through to close up, tighten very well, because this yarn is very slippery, so you don't need it very loose, okay, or anywhere near loose. And now you are going to insert your hook into the triple crochet, the first chain 4 you made over there on top of the stitch here, and then you are going to grab a loop and slip stitch to join. So pull through and pull through the loop on the hook, and that's how to slip stitch. Okay, and that would be your first row for the pattern, like this. For the next row, it is to note that you are working in between the triple crochets. You are working in between, not on the triple crochets. Okay, so if you have that in mind, you should be fine. You see, the triple crochet is long, and so it creates, this gaps that makes it look like mesh stitch because of the long nature. However, it's perfect because working in between the stitches will make it more, better and more nicer. So you are going to chain 4 always when you begin a new row. So this is row 2. I chained a total of 4. Now you see in between the stitches, okay, right there, in between, you see there's this big gap, not on top of the loop, not on top of the loop, guys. In between, let me take it, in between, like this, in between the stitches, that's where you are going to work throughout the rest of the row. So if you don't work in between, you are doing it wrongly. Okay, so you are going to wrap the yarn twice,
and then insert your hook in between, pull through. You have 4 loops on the hook. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and what? Yarn over, pull through 2. And that is a triple crochet in the exact same space, okay? And this will count as an increase. This will what? Count as an increase. Do you know why? We chain 4 from that same stitch. You know, it's a little bit on the side, but it counts as the same space, okay? So this will be a triple crochet increase because we have added 1 triple crochet to the chain 4, so making 2. And so that brings us to the pattern of row 2. 2 triple crochets in each and every stitch. Let's demonstrate the next one. So you always yarn over twice. You insert in between, not on top. You see in between. You see this gap here? You are going to insert. You pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Go back in the same exact space and add a triple crochet. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, as slippery, and yarn over, pull through 2, okay? And we have 2 triple crochets in between the triple crochet. It's those gaps. And so by the end of the row, you should have 24 triple crochet stitches because we started with 12 and now we are increasing every stitch, making 24. So remove again, wrap twice in between. You see the space there, triple crochet, yarn over twice. You know what to do, triple crochet in the same stitch. So I've just made 2 in between here, and so far we have made 6 triple crochets, and that is the repetitive pattern. 2 in between, 2 2 2 2 triple crochets. I'll meet you at the end and I'll show you my progress. So guys, this is going to be the last increase, okay? You realize that it's always very tight over here. Please locate this because I have 22 stitches so far. So we are going to put our last 2 triple crochets in that space. It's always a space in between the triple crochet, and that's where you are putting your stitches. So that's the last triple crochet stitch. And please bear with me. Working with fishing twine is very slippery and tricky, so always make sure your stitches are well placed. And so you are going to insert your hook not into the stitch but in between the space, okay? Not into the very first triple crochet but in between. So you insert and pull through to slip stitch and join, and that brings us to row 3. You should have a flat circle, a simple flat circle like this. For row 3, we are going to do an increase and then a regular stitch in the next. Always chain 4 as usual. So 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Okay, that chain 4 counts as a triple crochet. And now you are going to wrap the yarn twice, insert in the same exact space, the first one in between. You pull through 2, you pull through 2, you pull through 2. See where I'm inserting the stitch, the gaps, in the gaps, not on the stitch, okay? So the gap. And so since we have chained 4 plus this triple crochet will make our very first increase. And so we are going to place a regular triple crochet in the next gap. You can see it's big there. So we are going to wrap twice, insert, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and that's a stamped alone triple crochet in the next piece. You are going to do this repetition simultaneously. 2 triple crochet in the next, 1 triple crochet in the next. Let's do it again. Always wrap twice, insert, you pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. That's a triple crochet. In that same exact space, we are going to add another triple crochet. So wrap twice, insert, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And that's 2 triple crochets in the same gaps. Now you are going to move to the next triple crochet, the space there and the space in between, and you are going to just put a standalone triple crochet, yarn over twice, insert, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. That's a standalone triple crochet. So that is the pattern. 2 in the next, the following will be 1. And I'll meet you at the end of the row. Make sure you always yarn over twice because we are used to double crochet, so that's what happens. So I've made my 2 here. The next one will be 1, obviously. I'll meet you at the end. So guys, for row 3 you must always end with a stand-alone triple crochet because we started with an increase, and so you must have 36 stitches. If you have missed a stitch, make sure you check and rectify. But I have 36 stitches and I'm moving to row 4. This is when, so as usual, slip stitch in between the first chain 4 and the next triple crochet. Okay, so because we are working in between, so that will help us work in between the stitches always as usual. And so row 4 is when you start doing, you know, a little bit of increase. You know, this is very similar to normal hat pattern. However, for the bonnet we need more ruffly texture, and so we increase more than the usual increment we do for hats. And so for row 4 we are going to repeat row 3. Okay, so row 4, 5 and 6 will be the same repetition as row 3, making a total of 4 rows for the 2 1 2 1 simultaneous increase. So let me demonstrate it to you once again, and I'll leave you to repeat it for row 5 and row 6. As usual, you are going to chain a total of 4 to always begin, and we are working in between the stitches. So I always make my increase at the first. You yarn over twice, insert in the same exact space you see in between here. You pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and you have made your first increase, which means the next space will be regular triple crochet. That's just the same as row 3, except that at the end of row 4 you should have 48 stitches. Okay, 48 stitches. You move to the next space, 2 triple crochet. As time goes by, you become used to working with a twine, okay, even though it's slippery. And so I'll meet you when you are done with row 6. As I said, complete row 4, slip stitch to join, repeat the same thing, 2 1 2 1, 2 in one stitch, 1 in the following stitch, simultaneously around for row 5 as well, and repeat the same for row 6, 2 1 2 1. Yes, I'll meet you at row 6 and then we begin the next step. So after repeating the 2 1 2 1 simultaneously, I just completed row 6 with a total of 72 stitches. Row 4 will have 48 stitches, row 5 will increase to 60 stitches, and then row 6 will be 72 triple crochets overall. But we are moving on to row 7, which will be the same as row 2, making 2 triple crochets in each and every space. Okay, and so we are going to chain a total of 4 as usual. In the same exact space where you slip stitch to join for row 6, we are going to place a triple crochet there. And then that makes an increase. In each and every space, you are going to place 2 triple crochet. Let me demonstrate the next to you. So you wrap around twice, insert in the next space, you pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and that's a triple crochet in that space. We are going to add an extra triple crochet. Wrap around the hook 2 times, insert, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and that's 2 triple crochets. And so you are going to repeat this simultaneously in each and every stitch all around. We are making an increase to give you that wobbly effect on the texture of the satin bonnet. Okay, so this is row 7, which is the repeat of row 2, 2 triple crochets in each stitch, and you should have this ruffly effect. Okay, if you are not having this ruffly effect, that means there's an issue with your increasing. And so I'm going to slip stitch to join. I always insert it in the space, not inside the chain. So in the space, the triple crochet space, the space between the first and the second one, you slip stitch to join nicely. And then for the next row, which is row 8, you are going to do the same repetition as row 3. 2 triple crochets in one stitch, 1 triple crochet in the next stitch. So you chain 4, in the same exact space you are going to triple crochet, making an increase as usual, and then we are just going to place a standalone triple crochet in between, just inside the space, and then we are going to do a simultaneous repetition, 2 triple crochet in the next, and then 1 triple crochet in the following. Okay, 2 1 2 1 2 1, the same 2 1 2 1 till you get to the end of the row. You slip stitch, and that will complete row 8. So row 8 is completed. It sometimes takes forever, but once you complete it, that will be your last row of any sort of increase, because the rest of the rows is going to be normal triple crochets in each and every space. So I went along to put 2 triple crochet in one triple crochet in the next for row 8. As I told you, I went along and I slip stitch in the space to join, and that's the point I am in. And so you are going to chain 4 to begin row 9. You are going to do regular rows. I'll put the information on your screen for each size. It depends on the length that you want, because there will be also regular rows that will lead to splitting of the back of the bonnet. Okay, and so we are just going to build up the sides with regular rows to increase the length, and you can see the ruffling is looking cute already, and so we don't need to increase any longer. Okay, and so each size, I'll give you the information of each size or number of rows you need for each size. So after chaining 4, please, since we are making regular rows, do not triple crochet in the same space or in this exact space that you slip stitched into. Do not triple crochet in this exact space you slip stitched into. Do you see that? You are going to triple crochet in the next stitch instead. So you wrap twice, not here but here, insert, you pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2. And since we have been making increase in most of the rows till now, we triple crochet most of the times in the same space that we slip stitch into, or where the chain 4 came from. But since we are making regular triple crochet, we are not going to do that. And so we are going to repeat the same thing, triple crochet in the next space, and that's basically it. Okay, triple crochet in each and every space. Okay, till you get to the end of the row, you slip stitch to join, and I'll show you the number of rows to add to it for this small size. Okay, and so that's the fun part of it. Even though it's time consuming, you are just going to do your regular triple crochets. So just triple crochet, so this is row 15, and I want to show you a little bit demonstration. So from row 9 to 15 is regular rows, as I told you earlier on, and you are going to make sure you always locate the last space. Sometimes it's a little bit closed up, but make sure you triple crochet in the last space, especially when you are doing the regular rows, because it's easy for you to skip before you slip stitch into the space in between the first and second triple crochet, and you are finally complete with row 15. Now for the next row, which is row 16, it is when you start your splitting. You know, there's a little splitting detail at the back of the bonnet, and so we start at this exact place. Okay, we start at this exact place for this the splitting. And so when we are working our stitches, we are about to end, we are not going to slip stitch to join to make a regular row. So it's just simple. For row 16, you chain 4, which represents as a triple crochet. You are going to skip that very same space that we slip stitch into and move to the next space and triple crochet. Okay, this is because the chain 4 counts as the triple crochet that comes between that space where we slip stitched into, and so you are going to place triple crochet in each and every space just regularly, but you are going to stop at the last but one stitch, and I'll show you what to do there. So triple crochet in each and every space for row 16. I'll meet you somewhere here. So I'm going all around. Check, it's still flat, by the way. You see the detail. I'm going all around till I meet you at the last but one stitch, which is somewhere here. Okay, so the last but one space, you see this is the last space, but the last but one space, that's where I'll meet you, and I'll show you what to do next. So getting to the end of row 16, I know it's a time consuming process because of how the bonnet is, but please have patience for this. And so I have my last 2 stitches. There's a stitch before my last but one stitch, so I'm going to triple crochet there in the space, sorry, and this is my this is the last stitch, this is the last but one stitch. So 2 spaces before, you are going to turn your work to the opposite side like this. Okay, and now you are going to work towards this direction till you get to the end over here. So row 17 will be so let's start row 17. So to begin row 17, you are always going to chain 4 as usual, which will count as a triple crochet. You are going to skip this first space. Do not triple crochet in this first space, or else it will count as an increase. Just move to the following, okay, and triple crochet. So wrap twice, skip this first space, in the next space triple crochet. and then we are going to triple crochet in each and every space. In each and every triple crochet. Do not skip anything else apart from the first space. Okay, so just go around. I know it can be time consuming, but we have a couple more rows to finish, and then we'll finally have our hair bonnet. When we decrease, you see the full form of this bonnet. So I'll meet you at the end of the row and I'll show you how to end, because that as well is also important. So go around all that long row for row 17. I'll meet you at the last but 2 stage and I'll demonstrate to you how I end. And you can see the split already, so the split will take this form, okay, and that will help with adjustments as well. End of row 17, you are going to let me just work the triple crochets. So since we have been working triple crochets in all the chain spaces, we are getting to the last but 2 space, okay, and I want to show you how to end the row. So this is the next triple crochet. You see this last space, most of the times you are going to triple crochet into the space. However, you are going to triple crochet on the chain 4 that started the row. So right here, instead of the space, only for this last stitch, you are going to put it on the chain 4 right there to end the row. You see, we need a straight edge for the splitting, and so we are not going to work it in the space, okay? And so that will be the repetition for the rest of the rows. I'm going to make a total of 6 to 7 rows for my splits, okay? So row 17 will be repeated for row 18, 19, 22, however rows you want, before we work on the decreasing section. And so as usual, you always chain 4 to begin a new row. This is row 18. Whenever you are about to start the row, I said what, skip this very first space and triple crochet into the next. So that's what I just did. And then we are going to place a triple crochet in each and every space. So this is the next space, and I'm going to repeat this for a number of rows. I'll put it on your screen and then we'll work on the decreasing. But this is how it's looking. It looks very huge and spread out. The decrease, one thing about this bonnet is that the decrease will cinch everything in. You don't need an elastic band. It's optional if you want to use, but yeah, it will cinch it in before we work on the straps. And so that's the beauty about this pattern. Okay guys, so after repeating 6 rows for the split, you realize that it has built up nicely, and so this is when I stop making the rows, and then we'll focus on making decreases in single crochet stitches. So to decrease, you are going to do 3 single crochets together. So single crochet 3 together. Okay, so we are decreasing in such a way that it will cinch in. So I turn my work to the opposite side. I insert in the next stitch in the following as well, and in the next again, and then I'm going to yarn over and pull through all the 4 loops on the hook. Let's do it again. Insert, pull through, insert, pull through. You have 3 loops. Insert, pull through. You have 4 loops. Yarn over and pull through all 4 loops. So you are going to yarn over and pull through all 4 loops only when you are going to yarn over and pull through only when you have 4 loops. So let's do it again. Insert, pull through. You have 2 loops. Insert, pull through again. You have 3 loops. insert, pull through, you have 4 loops, yarn over and pull through all 4 loops. And this will help it cinch in because you have a very wide because of the number of rows I've been doing is very huge, and so we are trying to cinch in. And so I'm going to repeat this all around, all around. You know how it's very huge now. To the opposite side here, decrease single crochet 3 together all around till you get to the end of the row, and then I'll show you how cinched in my bonnet is. Okay, this is the last decrease for this row, and you realize that it's cinching in but not enough. That is why we are going to do another row of 3 single crochets together, just like how we just did. So you just turn to the opposite side, you chain 1 this time to create some so that we can crochet, and then you insert in the next stitch, you insert in the next again, and then the following, okay, and then you yarn over and pull through all the 4 loops, just like how we did. Insert, insert, insert. You have 4 loops, yarn over, pull through all the 4 loops, and this time it will really cinch in. Okay, by the end of this row it should cinch in, and then we work on the strap and the little border for the bonnet. But I love it. This is very huge. It can cover up your locks if you do have locks. It's the best bonnet to make, and it's very size inclusive because of how it's built. And so I'm going to see you at the end of the row when it's time to make the straps, and then we'll work on that. So now for the last section of the decrease, you realize that when I insert, pull through, insert, pull through, insert, pull through, I'm supposed to have 4 and pull through 2, but you realize that there's this last stitch and I'm going to insert and pull through. So instead of 4 loops, it's going to be 5 loops, and then I yarn over and pull through all the 5 loops to cinch in. And you realize how nice it will look after you have cinched in perfectly. Okay, and so I'm going to chain the amount on your screen, and then I'm going to cut the yarn, attach to the opposite side here, the part that meets, and also chain the same amount I chained for here, and then I'll go back with about 5 to 6 half double crochet rows. I'm going to do this off camera because my memory keeps failing, and so I don't want to make this video long. I'm going to chain 120. I'll cut off, attach here, chain 120, and go back on that same chain back towards the part I cinched in, or to the opposite chain I make, and then I'm going to follow up with 5 more rows, 5 or 4 more rows depending on how thick I want the strap, and I'll show you the progress. And this is when you get creative. You can add some color works, and I would love to do a tutorial on how to write your name at the cinched in part, which will be the band of the bonnet. I think that would be a cool idea. So if you are interested, because that's my main specialty, I make a lot of tapestry related content on this channel, please comment. And yeah, if we get this video to at least 100 likes, I will do that for you. After you chain 120 and you go back with half double crochet stitches and you get to this part, you see the gaps are very huge. So in each and every space, we are going to place 2 half double crochets. Because of the decreasing, you realize that the gap is very huge. So that's what I do for the edge. Okay, that's what I do for the edge, so that crocheting on it will become easier. So you know, I always cut off and chain 120 here too, so I'll go back with just one single crochet, sorry, one half double crochet in each and every chain space. So the 2 half double crochets only for the decreasing part, which is the border where we did a lot of decreasing. And so I'll meet you when I'm done with this project.
So guys, this is the total outcome. I love it, and please follow me on TikTok, Instagram for more updates. Bye.